If you click on this video from the title, then the betting odds are you're probably interested in a career in the field of data science. Now, after all, according to the US Bureau of Labor and Statistics, data science jobs are expected to grow by about 35% over the course of the next 8 to 10 years or so. And because this is such an in-demand field, I've actually already made a video on why I believe data science is still an extremely good field to break into even in today's era of AI and machine learning. But let's be honest, the real question on everybody's mind, which is the title of this video, is how much do data scientists make? Where better to get this information than straight from the horse's mouth, because as a full-time data scientist working at a fintech startup, I'm going to be able to validate if the information we research in this video is true or false. So with that being said, kick it back, strap in, and let's go ahead and analyze how much exactly do data scientists make in annualized salary. Now, according to the BLS, the average yearly salary of a full-time data scientist is roughly about $108,000 a year. However, this can vary wildly. For example, if you go onto the job board website Indeed, you'll notice that they argue the average salary of a data scientist is actually about $122,000, almost $123,000 year over year. Now, while this is arguably a very big range, I can actually say it's very accurate, at least for me, because this is exactly the range that my salary currently resides as a full-time data scientist working for a fintech startup. However, when doing a little more digging, there are actually 3 key areas that both of these statistics really don't take into consideration reporting this overall top line number. So let's go ahead and take a look at the industry data scientists work in, the years of experience that data scientists have, as well as the region of the United States data scientists are employed, to be able to get a better understanding of how each of these factors can influence your salary as a data scientist. Now, the first area that we should take a look at that has perhaps the biggest impact on a data scientist's salary is the years of experience. Now, before getting into all of the details, the upshot is that experience does indeed play a very big role in how much you are compensated as a data scientist. For example, in the case of my career, I was actually making less than the average salary of a data scientist until I was able to demonstrate that I had developed the skills necessary to warrant an increase in compensation to get me into that average range of what a data scientist is paid nationally. To support me in the fact that experience does play an important role, the University of San Diego actually did a very good study and created this very good report that I'll link down in the description below that actually breaks down data scientists into 2 categories: regular employees and data science managers. Now, for the non-managers, they translated their years of experience buckets into 0 to 3 years, 4 to 9, and 9+ years. And similarly for managers, the buckets in which they break down their levels of data science managers are 0 to 3 employees managed, 4 to 9 employees managed, and 9 10+ employees managed. The results of their study show that for a regular data scientist employee who has 0 to 3 years of experience, you can expect to make anywhere between $85,000 to $110,000 per year. However, if we look at employees who have between 3 to 9 years of experience, their range of salaries, according to the University of San Diego, is between $120,000 to $140,000 per year, which is still not too shabby. However, if we look at employees that have over 9 years of experience, their salaries shoot up from $148,000 to upwards of $185,000 year over year. However, managing is not for everybody, and this study shows just that, because as a manager, naturally you're going to have more responsibilities, not just to manage your own work, but also the work of others. And this is reflected in the overall compensation. For managers that have 0 to 3 employees underneath their supervision, you can expect to make anywhere between $132,000 to $164,000 year over year. For managers with 4 to 9 employees, you can expect to make anywhere between $180,000 and $210,000. And for managers who supervise more than 9 employees, you can expect to make anywhere between $210,000 and $275,000 per year. Hopefully this whole section was able to convince you guys that as long as you pay your dues and as long as you stick with it and work hard, the compensation will come as long as you are providing adequate value to whichever company you decide to work for. Now, in addition to just years of experience, the industry in which you are actually working as a data scientist does also play a role in how much you are compensated for your duties. Now, we talked about some of these industries in the data science video that I made a couple of weeks ago. It would stand to reason then, with so many industries being in play for data scientists, not all of them actually compensate data scientists at the same rate. According to the job board Glassdoor, there are actually 5 industries that they highlight that they argue pay the best for data scientist skills. Those 5 services are the finance sector, the food service service sector, telecommunications, information technology, and the entertainment sector, of which the financial services sector actually pays the best at about $146,000, almost $147,000 year over year. Food services pay about $146,400. Telecommunications pay about $146,000 flat. Information technology pay about $145,610, and finally, entertainment pay about $145,500. Now, the reason why I find this is very hard to believe is because all of these industry average salaries, the range on this is about $2,000, which is a bit too narrow for me to believe that this is actually accurate. It's also important to mention that these are actually the median salaries of data scientists. And if we switch our sources and go over to the website Coursera, according to them, the 5 best industries are information technology, retail and wholesale, real estate, financial services, as well as media and communications. And their findings reveal that information technology pay about $128,000, retail and wholesale pay about $117,000, real estate pays about $115,165, financial services pay about $115,657, and media and communications pay about $117,664. Now here, why I think this is slightly more accurate is we have about a $13,000 spread between the lowest and highest salary as opposed to the $2,000 from the previous source on Glassdoor. Now finally, looking at another website, and I actually really like this one from 365 Data Science, they again have a different sort of outlook at how much they believe industries compensate data scientists. According to them, they believe that telecommunications actually pays the best for data scientists at $162,000, almost $163,000. The information technology sector, they argue, comes in second at about $161,000. Insurance comes in at about $160,500. Financial services come in at about $158,000, and government administration to them comes in at $156,801. Hopefully this can convince you guys that the industry you choose to go into data science can actually impact greatly how much you are compensated for the skills you're offering your company. I hope you guys are enjoying this video and finding it very useful, and hopefully you're even becoming inspired to become a data scientist yourself. And if you're unsure of where to start, I actually offer an online course I'll link down in the description below of this video called Software Engineering in Python, where we start from the very basics if you don't even know how to program in Python and progress all the way up to the point of writing our own unit tests for functions as well as for object-oriented programming and classes. In the fall of this year, I'll be launching a data structures and algorithms course to help you guys get prepared for any tech interviews that you might come across. And finally, in the winter of 2024, early spring of 2025, I plan on making a data science specific module. The course only costs $50. There's a 100% money back guarantee within 30 days if you guys don't find it useful, but I have a feeling you will. I advise you guys check out the link in the description below, but for now, let's get back to the video. Now, the third biggest impact when it comes to influencing your salary as a data scientist is going to be the geographic region you are employed in. Now, while the pandemic has brought about this glorious revolution of remote work, I've limited the scope of this section to jobs based here within the United States. Now, the results are probably fairly intuitive. For example, according to Indeed, you can see that the West Coast is actually going to be the chief place you're going to want to work when it comes to being compensated as a data scientist. In Washington State, you're compensated anywhere between $142,000 and $171,000 per year. In California, the average is about $170,000 per year. On the East Coast, however, you range from between $120,000 in Washington, D.C. to $129,000 in Boston, and in the Midwest you range from about $109,000 in Chicago to about $117,000 in Denver. Now, this intuitively makes sense, right? For example, in California, where fast food workers make now a minimum wage of about $15 an hour, the cost of living is just naturally going to go up. Now, based upon all of these results, we can probably definitively say that if you want to make the most money as a data scientist, you should do so working as a data scientist in the West Coast, preferably in Washington State, within the information technology sector, and be sure you have at least over 3 years of experience and eventually want to be on a track to a manager to maximize your total overall compensation. Now, that's going to do it for this video, you guys. Hopefully you found this useful. If you guys are interested in building out your Python skill set or pursuing a career in data scientists in general, I provided a link down in the description below of my course that you can check out. But with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.